Um, so today we have Shaheen Francis Louis,
Yeah.
one of the most talented pianists to come out of Lane Expressive Arts Department. Oh my goodness, I stop playing. So, why did you start playing?
I started playing because I feel like at a young age, it's like you try to find something, trying to find a career path, like astronaut or whatever. And because my parents were in music, it's almost like you just follow them. But I only kind of like got adopted this mentality when I was in like year 7 because my dad tried to drill it to me at a young age. I just didn't really want to do it. So yeah.
So, which other like pianists and musicians would you say influences you?
Influence you. I definitely have to give it to a guy named Corey Henry, a really good keyboardist. Robert Glasper as well. Travis Sales, another guy. And then you have the people in the past like trying to think of some people. You got people like Art Tatum. There's loads. I have to go on, but yeah, those 4.
Yeah. So, what's the hardest part about being a performer? And what's the best?
I feel like the hardest part is putting in the work because it's like people get lost in talent, but people don't really want to work for that talent. And you have to adopt that mentality of discipline and putting in the hours of practice so that you can like have a very good performance.
I'm very sorry. We'll have to start again. Why do you have to go on Snapchat now?
I didn't go on Snapchat. I pressed it by accident.
No, that's gonna pick you up because you're right beside it. So you're gonna scrape that out. And we're gonna start again.
No, just we can cut it off. Final cut, bro. Carry on. We'll cut it off. We'll cut that.
You're gonna cut off what he said.
No, it was right at the end of it.
No, you're gonna cut off what he said.
I don't mind starting again.
No,
yeah, you're gonna cut off what he said.
Just do that question again.
Yeah, obviously not everything. Who's gonna do everything?
Let's go.
What do you think?
Just
Your
start again.
mum.
Go on.
Oh goodness.
I didn't know what question I was. Anyways, we're gonna do it again now. 2, 3, 2, 1. So, what would you say was the hardest part about being a performer and what's the best?
Okay, hardest part definitely putting in the practice hours, adopting the mentality of putting in practice because a lot of people want the talent but can't work for it or don't want to work for it. So yeah, definitely putting in that discipline is very hard. But obviously the best part is the effect of it because then people want to book you high and you're seen as like a revolutionary in your art field. So yeah, it's definitely the best part.
So, in your opinion, what would you say is a good live performance?
A good live performance. I feel like a good live performance is obviously great music and a good communication between musicians. I feel like, especially when it's band work, it sounds like just the drummer's just the drummer and the keyboard is just the keyboardist, the guitarist is just the guitarist. But the good thing about live performance is when they all gel together and the drummer's listening to the bassist and whatever. So I feel that really makes performance really hard. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Would you say that when you play,
Yeah.
you put emotions in your piece?
Oh, definitely. You have to. Otherwise, it's just like, the hell sort of thing. I think the good thing about putting an emotion into the song is like, or whatever you play, you feel like the audience kind of relate to that, and the audience can relate to that. I feel like if you're just there, like, bored, the audience isn't really engaged, but yeah.
Yeah. So, how much does your audience affect your performance?
I think it depends on the gig. I feel like, and the venue as well. For example, if I was to be booked for the O2 and like a massive venue and only like 3 people came, it would kind of put me off, but I'll still play. But I feel like as I've grown as a musician, I've learned that not to let that affect me and still perform as it is, like it was a really big audience, because you're only really good as your last performance sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Talking about performances, have you ever had one that like stands out for you? Like,
Stands out. There's been quite a bit. I think one that really probably stands out to me now is I was in this showcase probably a year and a half back. Yeah, in the showcase, and like it was an audience of like 500 people, and we won the showcase. And we go on to like do stuff like go to Abbey Road Studios. That's where all the Beatles went. Performed in this massive festival outside London as well. So yeah, that's probably the highlight. Yes.
What do you think makes your music different?
My music difference. I think to put it black and white, because it's coming from me, like there's not another Shaheem, well, that I've seen anyway. But yeah, I feel like, especially in the music industry now, a lot of the music that we hear sounds very sameish. Like trap music sounds the same, pop music sounds the same, and I feel like if I don't do that, it kind of brings attention to me because it sounds like taking a different avenue. Yeah.
So, what's the last thing that you do before you go on stage to perform?
Last thing, I'll probably pray, you know. I think that's what it is. Just to make sure I don't mess up and I give a good performance. And just having faith in myself, really.
Because you play the piano,
Yeah.
do you think that you're kind of restricted to the type of music or type of performance?
No. And no, I don't. I see why you'd ask that, but no. Because you got people like, I think I mentioned a guy named Trevor Sales before. He's performed on all different type of genres. He performed on Ariana Grande's album, and then he performed on like jazz albums as well, hip hop albums, like everything. I feel like you broadening that musicality helps. So yeah.
I feel like every genre you can crush it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fine. Okay. So, when you're performing on stage and say the mistake happens, how do you handle that?
You have to continue as weird as it sounds, because I've had performances where I've messed up, and then it's just like, oh crap, and then I stop, and then there's one very bad time where this is like when I was early performing, where I messed up really badly, and the audience is just looking at me, and I kind of just walked off stage because it's like the heat is, but I feel that most of the time the audience doesn't even know you make a mistake, and you just have to just sort of just play around and play it off, but musicians will clock. But I feel like if you just have that mentality of just continuing, you should be alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. But before you go, I'm going to ask you one last question. Do you know how to dab?
Don't know how to dab. I'm not really a dancer, but I can dab.
It's not. Like, do you want to do a little dab for the camera?
I can't really do it. You have to have music, man.
There's music downstairs.
That's not good music. It's not good music.